glass of wine. Today is Sunday, October 12th, and we are doing our episode of under $800,000 in our 12 12-part series episodes here, 12 episodes, 12-part series, and where we share with you a very important skill, which is using the search function on the MLS search function on your free account at ReloToBaja.com. I've shared with you one of the major questions that we get through the many years of helping clients find their properties here in the Baja Sur is they always ask, can I find a property that I love within my budget? And so we hope to help answer that question for you in this series as we go in $100,000 intervals all the way up to $1 million, and then two final episodes of 1.5 and then $2 million. And that's today we're doing the $700,000 to $800,000 range. And well, let's get started. Grab your glass of wine or a cup of coffee and join me as we have some fun taking a look at properties and exploring areas in Baja California Sur. All right. So let me share my screen with you. So the first thing we want to do, everyone, is go to ReloToBaja.com. And as I've shared with you many a time at this point, and I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but I really want you to feel comfortable in creating an account at ReloToBaja.com, knowing that the information, your name, your email address, and your cell number is only used exclusively by me, nobody else. I will not be sharing it or selling it. It's exclusively used for me to communicate with you and answer any questions that you have at any time about the Baja. I consider myself your real estate Sherpa in the Baja Sur, and what that means is I'm here to help make sure every step you take is a solid one. So you decide how fast or how slow you take your steps. I recognize that the majority of you out there are just getting started in that discovery stage of your journey to discover, like, sorry for the redundancy, to identify whether or not owning in Baja Sur is right for you, if at all, right? And if you discover that it's not, that's okay. I'm happy to participate in your conclusion. If you like my service, you like my attention, you can always give me a referral, okay? So let's get started. As I mentioned before, we're gonna hit the MLS search, go to property search, and we're gonna use these fields right here. Okay. We're gonna keep it on Baja California Sur. That makes sure that we're covering the entire range of the MLS. You can do more refined searches with these curated locations. We're going to keep it within that $100,000 range that we discussed earlier of 800. What do we? No, we're doing 400,000 to 500,000 today, right? Oh, I apologize. Today's $400,000 to $500,000. So we're doing 401 to 500. The reason why I got a little confused there is because I'm just getting started, and we're doing this live. I'm just getting started in creating this schedule of content, and in order to kind of keep up with it, I'm doing some of these live and others I'm pre-recording, and that's why I got confused. Okay, so this is the $400,000 to $500,000 episode. Tomorrow, Monday, we will be doing the $500,000 to $600,000 live as well. Okay, so we'll be doing that one live, and that's something. Since we're here on the subject, I want to share with you. My goal is to do this on a regular basis. We're likely going to be doing it in anywhere from 4 to 8 p.m., 5 to 7 p.m. Time frame here of Cabo San Lucas, which in the US or Canada, if you are doing the daylight savings time, it'll likely be equal to Pacific time zone. If you're on daylight standard time, it'll be likely be more like mountain time zone. So there'll be that variance. we'll try to keep you up to date on that technicality, on that detail as we progress throughout the course of the year. But again, for today, we're doing $400,000 to $500,000, and you'll notice that I put in 401, so $400,001. And the reason why we did do that is because in our previous episode, we already looked at properties at the 400,000 exact price point, so we don't want to repeat those. We're going to make sure that here we're going to look at any property, any number of bedrooms, and any number of bathrooms. Okay, and we are looking at houses and condos exclusively. And under the More tab, again, we're going to leave it as broad and untouched as possible. We don't want to go into detail because we don't want to miss out on properties that don't have those specific details. So the more general that we are here, the better. All right, that's what we want to do. But when you see that you have results like 337 results and you want to refine it a little bit, the first thing you want to do is maybe go into the More tab and hit the view description and add ocean view. I mean, you're not going to come all this way to not go all the way is something I like to say. I didn't mean to rhyme there, but it rhymed. And, that reduced it down to 225. If we put in 2 bedrooms and bring this down to 3 bedrooms, so we're now looking at 2 to 3 bedrooms with a minimum 2 baths, maximum, it brought it down a little bit more to 197. Now, what can I tell you? That's across all areas, mind you, okay? So remember, all areas cover from Loreto, which is about 6 hours north of Cabo San Lucas. So again, the Los Cabos MLS covers an area as high north as San Juanico. If you're a surfer, that is like Scorpion Bay, that's another name for it. On the Pacific side, on the Sea of Cortez, we're looking at like Mulaje, Santa Rosalia area, that's about as high as we go. Loreto is the most popular area in these locations that I'm mentioning. And then we come all the way south as far as Los Cabos, which is Cabo San Lucas and San Jose del Cabo. Okay, and of course from the Pacific to the Sea of Cortez, the entire stretch. We cover all of that. So that's a good area right there. It's well over half the state, I would say, across 3 different of the 5 municipalities within the state of Baja California Sur. So let's get started. Let's take a look if we see something here inside of Loreto. And as I mentioned earlier, San Juanico is about right here. Okay, this is Scorpion Bay, one of the most longest bays. If you're a surfer, one of the most longest waves. If you're a surfer, then you're already familiar with San Juanico. Over here is Mulaje and the Santa Rosalia area just above that, right here. I don't see anything popping up right there on the map with respect to, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, something did pop up. What was that? What? Did I miss something? No. Okay, let's pull back out. That's what was coming up right there, the Loreto area. Okay, so what I want to do is I really want to focus in on Loreto for now. I want to make sure we're not missing anything. The interesting thing about the Loreto area is that for us in the real estate field here, when we talk about Loreto, we're talking about the main town of Loreto, from here all the way down to an area, Ligui, and what is known as Danzante Bay. You can kind of see this little tiny bay right here. Let me see if I can zoom in. Okay, right there, Danzante Bay. And in the $400,000 to $500,000 price point, we're really not finding anything. And that's because there are condos there, but they're well above that price point. Okay, this is where the Villa del Palmar is located. Let me go to hybrid. The Villa del Palmar at Danzante Bay, and you can't quite tell from here, but there is this TPC golf course. It's a TPC golf course. Oh, it went to any price. See what I mean? 3.2 million, 3.2 million. So that just gives you a little tidbit into some of the stuff that we may be talking about in the future. But let's come back over here and focus on our price range for today's episode. And we're going to name this series, Can I Find Something I Love Within My Budget? So welcome to Can I Find Something I Love Within My Budget, brought to you by ReloToBaja with Costaro Real Estate. Costaro Real Estate is the brokerage that we are affiliated with, located in San Jose del Cabo, but we cover all of these areas that we're discussing today. So Puerto Escondido, this is also another area here that's under development. There's a great little marina right there, nice little restaurant. It's a great place to enjoy for the day if you are living in the Loreto area, and not too far actually, about 40-odd minutes south, 30-odd minutes south, better said, from Loreto. Maybe a little shorter now with the improvement of the highway. But here we go, 8 properties that we're finding within the Loreto area, okay? Now we've already covered some of these before. I don't know, did we cover this one? I think we did, but you know what, Casa Nopolo, I think we did. I'm gonna take a quick look at this one just to make sure. These are all inside an area called Nopolo. And you know what, a better way to do it is like this. Here's a quick tip, because the whole idea is to learn to use this search. So when you see these circles, it tells you, hey, there's 2 properties right here in this area. And that specific area is like the main Loreto city area. And you're looking at $445,000. I don't believe we've ever looked at that house before. And this one at $429,000. You know what, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. This is 2 bedrooms, 2 baths for about a $25,000 difference. Let's take a look at the 3-bedroom. Let's take a look at that one. That one is located right in the heart of the Loreto area. We'll take a better look at it in a moment. And then we have these 6 over here that are located in the Nopolo section. And Nopolo, as you may have remembered from a previous episode, is the National Tourist Fund of Mexico. National Tourist Fund of Mexico is a organization that no longer exists, was designed by the federal government to foster and foment tourism in specific strategic areas within the Republic of Mexico, and in this example, Loreto in the state of Baja California Sur. So they really wanted to turn this into a tourist destination, which is why Loreto has an international airport. Very important to note, international airport, it does have a golf course, and you have this wonderful hotel zone and area known as Nopolo. And let's take a look at these. So 415, 459, we're already looking a little bit higher up in the price range. I don't know why this one kind of calls my attention, but because we're already looking at a price very close to that one, let's take a look at this one for 415. All right, so starting with the first one in downtown Loreto, let's go to the map and use the hybrid. Here's Highway 1. You've seen Highway 1 all the time in our videos because it is the #1 highway, no pun intended, that goes all the way from San Diego down to Cabo San Lucas. It runs the entire length of the Baja Peninsula. We're likely going to have a future video where we're going to interview folks who have driven down Highway 1. No, you don't have to worry about bandidos jumping out from behind a rock or the next curve. It's extremely safe. People do it all the time. You don't have to worry about that sort of stuff. For folks coming all the way down from Canada, British Columbia, Alberta, they come down here, even from the United States, from all over the area, they drive down. It is a gorgeous drive, extremely beautiful. You can do it within about 24 hours straight driving, although we do not recommend driving in the evening, in the dark. There are a lot of animals, cows, foxes, rams, Cimarron rams, sheep, okay? I mean, you name it, you might hit it in the dark. and it's not a safe thing to do. A lot of the road is one lane in each direction with very narrow shoulders, if any at all. So it is not a recommended thing, but in general, it's safe to drive during the day, 100%. We do recommend that you maybe distribute your 24-hour drive, spend a night here, break it up into two parts, or where you drive 12 hours per day, or break it down into 2 nights, 3 days, and enjoy a couple stops along the way, such as a stop in Loreto and a stop in Guerrero Negro, which is another great area. So as you can see here, Loreto's kind of divided up into 2 areas. You have north of this riverbed right here, you have the main Loreto area and the historic town of Loreto, where you'll find the church. And then south of this little riverbed here, which is the new Loreto area, so to speak, which is still kind of growing and under development, and it's very close to the international airport of Loreto. And this particular property is in a neighborhood just west of Centro. I believe it's still considered Centro, next to Colonia Conquistadores is what it's called. And as you can see, there's a great sports center right here with baseball parks, soccer parks, running track, public pool, etc., etc. It's located right here in this section that we're looking at. Right here, this little manzana. Manzana is a word used here in Mexico to denote the block. On that little block right there. So let's take a look at this property. $445,000, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2,356 square feet. Looks like it has a rooftop deck. Very traditional Mexican colors, very colorful. Well, it's clearly somebody's office. You are living right in the heart of Loreto. You can see from here, from this photograph, the surrounding mountain ranges and views. I got to tell you, this is where the beginning of the Camino Real, with the very first mission on the Camino Real, the Royal Road, where it would take about 1 day on horseback to get from mission to mission, and the next mission in the area is up on the highlands. Not too far from there. You get to enjoy waterfalls as you're going to go visit it. Those are all the photographs they gave us pretty much. If you want more information on a property like this, please let me know. Give us your comments. Send me a direct message, an email. You can reach me by just going onto the website and sending me a message. 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 2,356 square feet. Let me see if there's anything that stands out here. Obviously, they're describing the property here. Protected garden area, rich soil, drip irrigation system, ensures your garden thrives. So if you're into growing your own vegetables, well, there it goes. You're growing vegetables, herbs, flowers, shaded mature trees, native plants. Large covered parking area, ideal for boat, RV. The fishing in Loreto, I have to tell you, Loreto is very well known for its 5 islands, including Isla Montserrat, and Isla Coronado. And these 5 islands are all found in a natural protective park, marine park, if you would. And amazing diving, fishing, snorkeling. It is beautiful out there. If you are an outdoorsman or outdoors woman and you love going out there and enjoying being outdoors, sorry for the redundancy, this is a place that you'll enjoy. Very quiet town. You'll very much enjoy it. All right, let's take a look at this one. $415,000. Now this is in the Nopalo area. Now Nopalo is very well known for being a community that is very much like a golf cart type community, bicycle community. You can get around very easily doing that. You will find little supermarkets, little, like 7-Eleven isn't a brand there, but you'll find like that type of, little mini markets and whatnot here in this community. A great little hotel. You can enjoy restaurant, bars there. There's a nice little wine bistro right here on this corner. There is a spa where you can get your massages done. Ladies can get all of their beauty treatments there as well. And of course, you can play golf. It's a cute little quaint little community, very quiet, very small. Let's take a look at this one. So you'll notice this one kind of has a little bit of like an indoor-outdoor courtyard area feel. It's very small, hacienda kind of design, if you would, because it is a townhouse. But lots of light. Nice breezes. Here's your outdoor kitchen. That spiral stairwell leads to a rooftop. This is already a second floor outdoor kitchen, by the way. Look at those views of the mountains. San Javier is the name of the town, which is about an hour into the mountains. It takes about an hour because it's a windy road, long windy road. And San Javier is known for having a yearly festival in the same way that Loreto does. They even do the Clam Fest. There's lots of off-road races that happen as well, fishing tournaments that happen in Loreto. I mean, for a very small town, it certainly has a varied and full calendar of events. It is a destination that I encourage you to check out if you're considering retiring in a cozy and quiet and very small town. But again, it was the original capital of the Californias, and it was the very first town designed to be a tourist destination by the National Tourist Fund of Mexico. So it has that kind of infrastructure to support that. Although it never really got off the ground, it looks like even San Jose del Cabo was designed to be the next spot, but Cabo San Lucas, whether we like it or not, Cabo San Lucas is the gateway destination to almost the majority of the people in today's date, today's world that know of Baja California Sur. Many of them discovered it through Cabo San Lucas and exploring from that point, using it as their jump-off point. I did, and I've been here 25 years. So let's take a look at the next one, guys. Okay, so we're now leaving Loreto. And as we travel south down Highway 1, okay, we pass the Danzante Bay with its TPC golf course and the Great Valley area of Baja California Sur, and we make our way towards La Paz. We start to see again properties in this area. It's interesting. Here's one at 480,000. Now this is located on the north side of La Paz, and I really want to show this one to you because of its location. So let's pick one there. This area here where you see the number 16, this is an area called Centenario. It is becoming a very up-and-coming neighborhood amongst Americans and Canadians that are looking to retire in the Baja Sur, and they like that rural feel, but yet you're not too far, about 20-odd minutes away from the capital of the state of Baja California Sur, which is La Paz. It is offering some very nice benefits. We've already seen some homes in that specific community. I'm trying to find something different. Looks like all of these houses are almost in the same area. Well, again, we're looking within $400,000 to $500,000. take a look at this one. Oops, there we go. And let's look at one right here. Look at that. Condo living right at the $400,000 price point. This is in La Paz. So there's a lot to choose from of resales and finished construction, obviously. Oh, you know what? I don't think we've ever done this one. So let's start with these. 484,000 Palmera. Now again, let's go to the map. We always want to start with the map because we want to get a good understanding of where we are located when it comes to looking at these properties. Again, famous Highway 1, we're always going to see that. And as you can see right here on this map, Centenario, oops. You have Centenario right here. This is what this area is known as. Chametla is next to the Manuel Marquez de Leon International Airport. And right about right here, this is where you're getting into the La Paz area. And there is a lot of shopping centers and shopping malls right here. So you can find everything from electronics to clothing. There's a Home Depot right there, lots of shopping, Honda dealerships. So if you happen to drive a vehicle, there's actually a couple other dealerships there as well. You can get your car serviced, maintenance right there. Very good service. I take my Honda, I actually buy my Hondas in La Paz. There is a Honda dealership in Los Cabos, but for whatever reason, I've created a wonderful relationship with my sales guy, and I like to buy them from him in La Paz. And I do take my vehicle because it's a beautiful drive up the coast. It only takes me about an hour and a half for Carla and I, my wife, and I to go up there and enjoy a nice day in La Paz while we get the car serviced and do that. So again, Centenario area, as you can see, is right here. And this is located in an area called Puerta Azul. Is that right? Let's take a better look at this. Let's see if I can zoom in. Well, it looks like the little dot is, yeah. So this is a nice little gated community, as you can see here. And it's on the ocean side. Now, that does not mean that it's ocean front, okay, as you can see from here, okay? But it is a gated community. So let's take a better look at this. And let's go to the photographs. So right off bat, you do have a two-car carport. I don't know if you can enclose that, but if you could, it's something that you would see with the HOA. Nice floor plan, lots of light, open areas. Grand entrance. Looks like you might have like a little living room area right here. You can turn that into an office space. Or formal dining, because it looks like you have your kitchen here with a breakfast area or dining area. I believe this comes with a pool, outdoor kitchen. Yeah, see this guy over here? They created it, they enclosed it, and they made that a private enclosed garage. You could probably do the same thing here with this one. I don't see why not. $484,000, 3 bedrooms, 4 baths, 5,390 square feet. It's a good sized property. There's your backyard with your dipping pool, barbecue area. I'm sure that's right off the kitchen. This is it has a very La Paz feel to it. I have to tell you that, the different areas of the Baja Sur, like you'll discover each one has its own little vibe. Todos Santos has a different vibe, feel, even in the architecture that you find there from, let's say, Pescadero, from Cerritos, from, Cabo San Jose. It's all slightly different, out in the East Cape, La Ribera, Los Barriles, La Ventana, El Sargento. You might find a lot of similarities. This is a great aerial photograph. You can see here the community. You might find a lot of similarities, but there's some uniqueness to this. Here you go, look at this. Let's see what this one tells us in the description. So, they put it all in Espanol. Just 25 minutes from the downtown, 10 minutes from all the commercial centers. 3 spacious bedrooms, barbecue area, pool. Again, in pesos. So the seller likely to be a Mexican national. The list price is in pesos at dollars at 484. However, they want 9,450,000 pesos. So you're likely to get a better exchange rate potentially if you negotiate in pesos, and even if you pay that full price, you likely are going to be paying maybe even less than this number. I mean, it all depends on what the exchange rate is. Historically, that has been the case. And we do have a great relationship with Mexpert, okay? And you can, if you want to know how you can hedge those exchange rate differences, locking in an exchange rate, earning a potential 5% between the closing date, which really is more beneficial when you're doing a pre-construction property because the delivery is a year out, for example. You get to really enjoy that 5% over that year. It makes a considerable difference. What can I tell you? But nonetheless, this is an interesting property located just outside of the La Paz area on your way out to Centenario. Is that something that you would find attractive, that you would want to do? Okay, let's take a look at Revolucion y Salvatierra, Residence 102, $400,000. This is a condo tower found in La Paz specifically. All right, so again, we're going to go to the chat. We're going to go to the map. And as you can see already, we're just about, what is it? If you look at these big blocks, we're just about, well, it looks like 1, 2 to 3 streets away. They tend to be shorter than these. These are longer blocks here. These are shorter blocks there. So I don't know, is that 1.5 blocks away from the Malecon? The Malecon is the famous boardwalk of La Paz. Look at that. You are right smack dab in the heart of La Paz, like Malecon boardwalk area. Again, just 2 to 3, easily you could walk this. Easily you could walk this, about 1.5 blocks really. I mean, although these blocks that are closer to the Malecon are divided into smaller halves, you are really super close to the Malecon. Let's see if we can zero in here a little bit better. This is a perfect example. And one of the things that I enjoy about cities like this, like La Paz, is that even on these streets over here, look at that, restaurant. This is a Uruguayan type restaurant over here. What's this? Bufalito Grill, another little grill restaurant right there. McFisher, Marinera, Pasiana, Oxo. So, I mean, all of this is literally within 1 block in any direction. You can find yourself having, wonderful meals without having to go all the way to the Malecon and necessarily paying more higher prices because of its location or because it's more appealing towards the tourists, as an example, right? So let's take a look at this property. It is a condo tower, so depending on the height and which floor you're on, you may have some views. If this is 1 condo per floor, that is pretty cool. Let's see here. But again, it looks like it is a pre-construction property. So a benefit here again, negotiating in dollars, maybe it has a 1-year delivery date, and working with a company like Mexpert that can help you hedge those exchange rate fluctuations. Again, earning up to 5% on forward points is a benefit as well, and getting a much better spot rate, which is that initial exchange rate that you lock in right from the beginning, because they charge less commissions than banks do. Remember, banks are always trying to make like a 2%, spot. So whatever the exchange rate actually is, according to the banks, they want to make 2% on that. So they give you 2% less, right? That's how they make their money on an exchange, right? In this example, you'll get a better spot rate right off bat, and then you'll make up to 5% on the forward points, and you can really reap those rewards on a pre-construction property when it takes about a year for it to be delivered, in that scenario. Or if you happen to buy a lot, a parcel of land that you want to build on, and again, you're working with a developer and you're going to be making installments on the construction costs over time. So that's another possibility right there.
Aquí dicen, antes del lenguaje extraviado, ¿quieres un lenguaje extraviado?
Look at this right here. Okay, so elevator, it looks like there's 2 condos per floor maybe, I don't know. That was a little confusing, but 2 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1,314 square feet. That rooftop view that they propose is gorgeous. You have a beautiful pool, barbecue area. Okay, so here is your elevator, stairwell, laundry rooms. Interesting. So each laundry room is separate, and then you have, because it faces in each direction. Okay, you have the front of the building and the back of the building, and you have 2-bedroom condo over here and a 2-bedroom condo over here. So yeah, it makes it look like there's only 1 condo per floor from the street view, but you actually get a ocean view or a mountain view condo on each floor. That's really neat, okay? Obviously, same location. Would you pay the difference for the ocean view, or would you take the discount on the city lights view? Keep this in mind, the city lights at night, it's like New York at night to get those views. You can see right here, here's where it's being built. You can see that ongoing construction. Obviously, you're going to have some potentially nice views in this direction. But if the views aren't all that phenomenal because of its location, because I can't really see the view in that direction, city lights view at night. There you go. This is a good example of what your city lights view looks like at night, right there. And these are shots of the city and the Malecón. All right, let's see what the descriptions tell us. Let's go back. Vivalvia residences. Only 4 units left is what it says. Keep that in mind, guys. There's only 4 units left. If you want to know something about this, I guess you want to hurry up if you're interested in knowing more about this one. They don't mention what the HOA fees are, but we could find that out for you if you're interested in knowing. 2 bedrooms, 2 full baths, just over 1,000 square feet of AC. 1 partial bath. All right, let's move on to the next one. $420,000. Now, I believe this one is found on the Mogote. El Mogote is what it's called. And it is in a subdivision called Paraíso del Mar. Let's pull out on this map. So in the last one that we were looking at, it was somewhere about right here, okay? And it actually had a view of the bay of La Paz, and you see this spit of land right here. It's almost like another little peninsula. Okay, this right here, is it called an isthmus? Is it called an isthmus? Write it down, I think it is. But this right here, this little spit of land, you know, there's some amazing dunes right here that you can enjoy. They're protected. A lot of the locals like to go out there and enjoy their 4x4s. But as we get a little closer in here, you get to this section. Now, on the La Paz side, you have all of these little estuaries and protected zones right here. And then from here, this tip this is a golf course. And yearly, there's a golf tournament that's held right here on this golf course. And over here, you'll find homes. These are single level living homes right here. Carla and I have had the opportunity to stay at one of these homes and enjoy walking along the beaches right here. We drove our golf cart along the golf course and enjoyed some beautiful views, lots of birds. And then we came over here. This is where you'll find the condo towers, okay, right over here. And this is where this is located. It faces, if I'm not mistaken, north, okay, facing north. So you do get this sun that goes east-west, okay, and beautiful sunsets, gorgeous sunrises is what you get to enjoy with this. Let's go take a look at the details and these photos first. Two bedrooms, two baths, 1,800 square feet for $420,000. Again, it makes you feel like you're living on an island. You do have a restaurant on site. There is some pool areas as well. And like I mentioned, there's tennis courts, there's golf, a great little community. You know, what's really neat about this community is that it has a ferry that will transport you. If you wanted to go shopping, for example, you don't have to drive that entire length along that little peninsula and then drive into town. You don't have to do that. You can buy golf cart. You can go down to the little, what's it called? The little dock area, and then get on the ferry that will take you across to the marina area where the Malecon begins. And then from there, you can just grab an Uber to go shopping, get all your shopping done, Uber back to the marina, and take the ferry back. It's that simple. And then you hop on your golf cart, and there you go. It's easy peasy. You don't have to do this long drive. You don't have to spend any of your own gas money. Ubers are super inexpensive in this town, so easy to do. And I think those are all the pictures that they gave us on this one, guys. So I wish they'd given us a little bit more, because they didn't show really any of the pool areas. They didn't show the restaurant on this one at all. Take the opportunity to get a property in paradise. Beautiful condo has never been lived in. It's white canvas where you can decorate it at your taste. 2 very spacious bedrooms, both with ocean views. Private terraces, 3 full bathrooms. 3 full bathrooms. Paraíso del Mar, beautiful golf course, pools, jacuzzi, pickleball courts, and other amenities, plus kilometers of beautiful beach. Yeah, if you like to kayak, you like to stand-up paddle, a wonderful place to do so, 100%. All right, and now we're looking at, I believe, we may pick one more property after this one, but this is one that I really, and I'm glad we're kind of looking at this one virtually last. This one sits north of La Paz. Let's show you exactly where it sits. So this is Tecolote Beach. And I gotta share with you, this is one of my personal favorite beaches. It's got what seems to be, I don't know, well over almost a mile of beach that you can enjoy. There's more restaurants there now than there were before, little beach clubs that you can enjoy, but still great sections of beach that you can just drive your vehicle up to and, you know, make your own little, you know, beachfront cabana campground, so to speak, and enjoy. The water there is crystalline, super see-through clear. You can walk out what it seems like for at least a kilometer. You just walk straight out and still be virtually at waist deep. in front of the island of Espiritu Santo, which is a beautiful view and to enjoy from there. And again, making use of the restaurants, you can have great food, seafood, drinks. You don't really have to take anything other than, your bathing suit and a towel, unless you want to go and enjoy the day and maybe do a barbecue on the beach or something like that. You can do that as well. That's what's really cool about this. And you see this road right here. I don't know if you can, but you can see this road. This is off of Balandra. You can take this road and it'll take you to this community right here. Let's zoom in a little bit. And this is a gated community. That is up and coming. Right there. And look, you even have more beaches over here. They're like private, pristine beaches. Look at how gorgeous that water looks. You're only about maybe 20 to 30 odd minutes from La Paz. At most 20 odd minutes, I think, depending on how you drive. But from La Paz, not too far at all. So you have access to all the amenities that you might need in the city while having this beautiful sense of ruralness and gorgeous views away from the city lights. So at night, the stars here are just amazing. You likely can see the Milky Way. It is beautiful. So let's take a look at this property here. Okay, so these are water tanks. I wonder what this is. This looks like it's a pool. It's unfinished. This looks like it's a hot tub jacuzzi area. This looks like it's a pool. These are definitely water tanks. They're not in ground. As you can see, you have paved streets. That's the view that you have. These may have ocean views, while this lot does not. 479,000, 2 bedrooms, 5 baths. Wow. It looks like it was someone's project that they just did not finish. On something like this, you're likely buying the land. And obviously, with the construction that you see here, it's more like you're buying the structural components for you to kind of build off of. You may like the initial floor plan, you might have to make some changes, but if you can make use of the retaining pillars, walls, I'm sure they use some really good concrete and rebar here for this. I wonder what this is supposed to be. I'm looking at some water filtration issues right here on this one. It actually looks like this might have even gotten, no, maybe not. That could be just water filtration. I wonder what this is that I'm looking at right there. Interesting parcel of interesting property altogether. The views are gorgeous, in my opinion, if you like the mountain views and whatnot. This is an area that Carla and I love to explore with our Jeep. We love going to beaches, so we're familiar with this area. But clearly you're buying someone's unfinished project if this is something that appeals to you. I'd have to be very careful because we're either looking at demolishing a part of it or all of it, or finishing parts of it, finishing it off. I mean, it's something to consider. I think that's all she wrote when it comes to the photographs. Let's take a look at this. Interesting, very, very interesting. Maravilla is the name of the subdivision. It says, rare opportunity to merge with nature, experience the healing serenity of the mountain, and explore the wild swimmable beaches and coral reefs just walking distance away. All that in the gated community of Maravilla. I don't know if it's walking distance exactly. We could look at the map again. Maravilla is located about 25-minute drive from La Paz, which is what I mentioned. across from Espiritu Santo Island. Few minutes drive of the world-renowned Balandra and Tecolote Beach. Yes, I agree. Unique 2-bedroom and office located on a double lot with 2,900 square feet of construction, 1,860 square feet of patios. Windows, floor to ceilings, yeah, we saw that. Outside you'll find an endless pool. Oh, I don't know about that. The house construction is about 75% completed. Man, yeah, I mean, I would argue that, yeah, okay, the house itself, but we're gonna have to gut some of that stuff and redo it. We're gonna make sure that we have to get rid of any kind of water filtration issues if there happens to be any. I mean, it's very dry out there, guys, and hot, but there could be some mold that we need to take care of. It's not like a major thing that, I mean, it's something you want to take care of, but it's not like, black mold, oh my God, we have to destroy the place, burn it down. But still, it will require something. Prices in pesos as per the exchange rate of time of closing. So again, likely a Mexican national. So it says double lot, but they don't give us the size of the lot. Okay, here's the lot size in acres. So if it's a double lot, 0.37, so it's just under 1,600 square meters, 0.37 of an acre, so. So we're looking at, 1,500 square meter lot is what we're looking at. I mean, again, the average lot there is about 750 square meters is what they're telling us, 752 square meters. This is double. It is a decent sized lot, I will say that much, and that's what I said to you earlier. But I don't know, that's a tough one, man. In my opinion, that is a tough one. Why not just buy a lot in that neighborhood and then build whatever you like on there, right? I think that might be their biggest challenge with this property. Well, it is what it is, as they say on the East Coast, unless they tell me something special about it. And I guess we'll finish off with one of my favorite places, and it is, although I live in Cabo San Lucas, and I love living in Cabo San Lucas, I gotta tell you, I own several properties here, and if not more, but the point is, I love Cabo San Lucas, but for Carla and I, our favorite place to go and enjoy is La Ventana El Sargento. I don't think we'll ever stop living in Cabo, but having a second place here is definitely on our goals. We've already touched on some of these here in this area. You know what? Here's an interesting one. We might finish this off. We're reaching our 1 hour mark. Let's take a look at these two right here. Maybe we can get 3 in. I don't know. Okay. So this one stands out to me because, well, $495, but as you can see right here, where this is beachfront. Okay, so this is a great. Right over here is a trailer park, is a campground area where you can, for the season, a lot of folks like to come here. Some people may be windsurfers, kite surfers, which is really popular activity here in this area, and they'll show up in their overland vehicle and they'll make it right there. And it's very common to have that kind of a community right here, that overland community, which is seasonal, and they rent that out. And right here you'll find that there's access to the beach for fishermen. That's why you can see all these vehicles right here. It's a great place to go. But this property is literally right across the street. Now La Ventana El Sargento sits about 45 minutes to an hour south on the Sea of Cortez of La Paz. Easy to get to. For Carla and I, it takes us about 2.5 hours at most. 2 hours really is what we make, usually good time to get to La Ventana del Sargento. Now that I've made the picture a little bit bigger, you can kind of see what I was talking about right here. These folks that are overlanding right in front of the beach. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is where a lot of the fishermen like to, right down this road, they take their vehicle and they launch their fishing boats right here. So if you like to fish, you like to surf, as far as kite surfing, windsurfing, you like to dive, I mean, this place is it. Isla Ceralvo, which is also known as Jacques Cousteau Island, is out in front of La Ventana El Sargento, and it is gorgeous. Now this property, I mean, man, it is like on the main road, and it is across the street from there. Look at that. $500,000. I mean, again, right here, boom, you go from here, and you go to the beach, right there. Look at all these cars right here with their trailers for their boats. All of these guys are fishermen. You see that? That's pretty cool. So if you're a fisherman, you could easily do that. Bam. You're done. It's kind of rustic, old school, Mexico, brickwork. Man, they really kept it simple with that kitchen. You might want to remodel it. Maybe you like it just like that. Keep it simply simple. The property definitely has a lot of space, and it looks like they did keep it simply simple, very practical, and in the long run, if one wanted to remodel this, there isn't like a lot to have to demolish or take out. I mean, obviously, updating carpentry, well, there's none here, but you could put in some. I mean, this is literally like steel doors, you know, below there, right? I'm sure they even built in cement shelves in there. I mean, all of this is built with like molded cement. That would take a little bit of hard to break down on some of these things, but you really want to go in there and be creative. But you could also add on to the property, which is what you really want to take advantage of with this. I mean, and look at that view. Looks like it's an unfinished casita right there. Something like this could easily be turned into a little, like a hostel or a bed and breakfast, you know, with individual rooms. What is this? Is this something for the future? Okay, that's all she wrote. Let's go take a look at the description. Wow, it just looks like a creative opportunity for somebody. Casa Lily, stunning 3-bedroom home, water sports enthusiast. Home is a water sports enthusiast's dream. Yeah, I agree. Perfectly situated, just steps from Playa Central and the main La Ventana campground, offering prime beach access designed for both comfort and convenience. The property features a spacious garage with ample gear storage and a half bath, making it perfect for storing kites, boards, and all your adventure essentials. Upstairs, a loft-style bedroom boasts breathtaking panoramic views of Ceralvo Island with its dedicated full bathroom and walk-out patio, creating a serene and elevated retreat. The main house offers 2 bedrooms with a shared full bathroom, along with a kitchen and inviting living spaces. Additional features included an electric gate, gated entry, shaded patio areas throughout the property, beautiful landscaping with plenty of palms and ample space to build future projects, as I mentioned. See, so that's exactly what it is. You know, a pool, a guest casita. You know, that this is an opportunity for someone who either wants to keep their home central or maybe wants to take on an opportunity, which I believe there is a tremendous of opportunity in the La Ventana, El Sargento area. And for something like this, you can add on to. The reality is you're not going to lose. This property is going to go up in value without a doubt. You know, let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. All right, next one. So just under the last price, I believe this one's just a little farther north in the El Sargento area. Okay, let's take a better look at in comparison to locations. So as you can see, this one is on a street called Calle Tiburon over here. Where is that? That's Las Palmas, Marisco Cercone. Yeah, so here's the Playa Central campground area that we were looking at just a moment ago, over here. And this place is in the El Sargento area. So you can see how La Ventana, El Sargento are like two towns, like, you know, brothers and sisters, and, you know, one just north of the other, one south of the other, so to speak. So this one's in the El Sargento area, the other one is in the La Ventana area, headed towards El Sargento. Again, not too far. Let's take a look at this again. The beaches over here are a little bit more, less crowded. For a better way to describe it, for, you know, lack of a better way to describe it. You have some nice little beach restaurants. La Tuna is one of them, as an example. And again, to go from here to there, I mean, you're not as close to the water as the last place, but that's not to say that you're not going to enjoy it or even be able to use it as a rental or Airbnb. Carla and I, when we first went to La Ventana, El Sargento, we did an Airbnb at a place that's about 3 or 4 blocks off of the main street. And, you know, still, nonetheless, we enjoyed it very, very much. And here you're buying a nice parcel of land as well. And more of a home. That's what it really is. Look at that. All polished. This is part of the vibe that I was talking about earlier. You're going to discover this also in like the Todos Santos area and like the north Cerritos area and Todos Santos area, North Todos Santos area, and the Cerritos area. This polished cement, you know, floors, polished cement, countertops, as opposed to going with granite or quartz and stuff like that, even at these price points. It's a bit of a minimalistic, eclectic beach construction that seems to be common in these areas. Look at the view. So it does have a slope, and you're at a higher point here on that slope, and that's why you're able to look towards the water and enjoy these views. And that's from the ground floor, by the way. If we go up to the you know, the rooftop where you have this nice fire pit, look at that. That's the Isla Ceralvo. That's the island of Ceralvo, or Jacques Cousteau Island. Great place to snorkel. You can swim with the whale sharks. Swim with there's a sea lion colony there, if I'm not mistaken. A great place to fish. Pilot whales, blue whales, humpback whales, gray whales. This gives you a good sense of the slope as well. I don't know if you can tell with this image, but that allows you to keep those views. And because this property in front of you is already built, I mean, you're likely not going to have, this one is 2 stories as well, with some sort of rooftop deck. It looks like they're going on right there. You could do the same thing here. This is only 2 stories, it looks like. Oh, sorry, 1 story with a rooftop deck. You can go 2 stories. Which would you prefer? Would you prefer to be in a slightly more residential area like this one, or would you go for the business potential of the other property that we looked at? Let me know. Put your comments down below and just let me know what you would pick. Casa Don is a beautiful, must-see home in La Ventana del Sargento area, constructed and finished in 2020. This fully completed, titled home offers 2 large bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms with a great floor plan, fantastic outdoor living spaces, situated on a gigantic 1,600 square meter lot. Remember, an acre is 4,000 square meters, so you're looking at about 40% of an acre right here. It's a good sized lot, I have to say. I'm sure you can add an extra casita, maybe a couple rentals in there, and do some Airbnb while you live in the main house. 100% doable, without a doubt. All right. And another one at $490. So it's interesting that we're looking at all these. They're all right within about the same price range and giving us a slightly different flavor. Again, El Sargento. This one already comes with these like little cobblestone paths. You know, this one has a rooftop deck. The other one, a little casita. Keeping it simply simple. Look at that outdoor kitchen for pizzas. Gorgeous water views. Very simple home. Some folks love this. Some folks would make changes to it. Which one are you? Let me know. All right, guys. Thank you again for your time. And today we looked at $400,000 to $500,000 in price points. We got to check out some stuff in Loreto, some stuff in La Paz, and the La Ventana El Sargento area. We spent the majority of our time on the Sea of Cortez in today's session. Thank you again for sharing your time with me. We will be doing tomorrow 2 more lives going over the hot sheet, brought to you by ReloToBaja with Costaro Real Estate, and another episode in our 12-part series where we cover from $500,000 to $600,000 in the hopes that we can help you discover and answer the question of, can I find something I love within my price range in Baja California Sur? So I'd love to share more of this with you, but I don't know if you're following me. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and, of course, share, like, hit the notifications if you want to be updated on our next episodes, whichever they may be. And thank you again. Again, my name is Sid Chacon, and I'm your real estate Sherpa in the Baja Sur. Have a wonderful evening, guys.